आपकी आवाज ने हमें सुर ताल से मिला दिया और हम सबके हौसलों को बुलंद कर दिया. Let us appreciate this uplifting rendition with a huge round of applause.
And speaking of hope and perseverance, there is another journey we embark on each day, one that begins at our very own table. I, Ananya Lakra,
and I, Ariveer Singh,
will be your navigators, narrators, your anchors for today.
We welcome you to the grand launch of the Eat Well, Live Well Habit Book, a guide that is more than just pages and print. It is a commitment, a lifestyle, and a compass pointing towards health, balance, and mindful living. In a world where our plates are often full of confusion, this book offers clarity, science, and inspiration. We envision a morning filled with learning and dialogue, a morning where knowledge meets action.
This morning, we have the privilege and pleasure of welcoming our esteemed guests, Mr. Revant Himatsinka and Mr. Pavan Agarwal. Joining them, we have Padma Shri Professor C.S. Pandav, Mr. and Mrs. S. Krishna, Miss Megha Johnson, Mr. Aman Bashir, Mr. Nitin Puri, Sudhanshu Sir, as well as our distinguished delegates from Edelman, Jizz, Kofti, and many other respected attendees.
Our first esteemed guest, Mr. Revant Himatsinka, the food farmer, is a passionate advocate for food transparency and the force behind the movement labeled Padhega India. Known for his fearless myth-busting and eye-opening social media campaigns, he has inspired millions to question, to learn, and to choose wisely.
Our second distinguished guest is Mr. Pavan Agarwal, CEO of the Food Future Foundation and former CEO of FSSAI. A visionary leader in India's food safety and nutrition space, he has championed initiatives that blend policy, education, and community engagement to build a healthier nation. The Eat Well, Live Well Habit Book, which we launched today, is his brainchild, a practical and inspiring guide that brings 21 life-shaping habits into the hands of our young learners.
We also have with us our very own Aditi Mehrotra ma'am, co-founder of Arnie's Fit Kids and advisor to the Food Future Foundation, who has been a key facilitator in bringing together Food Future Foundation and Lotus Valley International School. Through her guidance and dedication, she helped initiate the collaboration to test and pilot the food literacy program. Thanks to her efforts, we are witnessing today's landmark event, the launch of the Habit Guidebook, a testament to innovation and partnership in food education. Let us have a warm round of applause to welcome our esteemed guests. Joining our eminent guest this morning is our revered Director Principal, Anita Malhotra ma'am, a graceful persona whose unwavering commitment to nurturing both the intellect and the well-being of our learners has transformed our school into a flourishing sanctuary of growth. Under her insightful leadership, holistic education is not merely a concept, but a lived reality, a finely woven fusion of food, fitness, and fortitude, where healthy bodies strengthen resilient minds and strong values shape compassionate hearts. To gracefully open the proceedings of this special morning, it is my privilege to invite our respected ma'am to extend a heartfelt welcome and share her words of inspiration with us.
Thank you, children. Good morning. And a very warm welcome to each one of you. So, dear guests, esteemed members, invited guests, my vice principals, teachers, and everybody, on behalf of Lotus Valley International School, it is my privileged pleasure to welcome the true champion of health and transparency, none other than Revant Himmat Singka, popularly known as Food Farmer, and farmer with special spellings. And Singka, Himmat Singka, I think it speaks volumes of the kind of person, Revant, you are. हिम्मत भी है इसमें, सिंह जैसी शान भी है. So today is a very important event, Arogyata, the future of food, eat well, live well. The founder of Label Padhega India campaign, Revant has been a vocal advocator and has created a profound impact on food literacy and its mindful consumption. We are truly blessed to have among us visionaries who are united with a common purpose, the betterment of society through food literacy and healthy living. I extend once again a very warm welcome to Mr. Revant Himmat Singha, the food farmer, whose mission is to reconnect people with real, wholesome food that is both inspiring and is urgently required also. Revant, I marveled at your patience when you interacted with children of two sections, one of grade 7th and one of grade 6th, and children who talked to you about the sugar board and the oil board. I think we are on the right track, but I'm sure youngsters like you are going to further motivate and inspire younger children so that their future is bright and they eat well and they live well. Thank you so much for your benign presence here. Somebody asked me, where do you get your energy from? I said, oh, it's the children who give me all the energy. They are my synergy. And today, the synergy has increased multifolds because of your presence. Thank you. We have with us the brain behind today's event, none other than Mr. Pavan Agarwal, NIS, former CEO FSSAI and CEO of the Food Future Foundation, and a distinguished thought leader who has a peculiar kind of fire in his system to do the best for the nation, more so the future of the nation, the future generation of the nation, and children, that's you. Pavanji's relentless efforts have been actually instrumental in shaping the national discourse on healthy and sustainable food systems. His dedication to building a food literate society and promoting sustainable food practices is truly inspiring. With a passion that drives transformative change, Mr. Agarwal's commitment to revolutionizing India's food system is evident in his tireless work. I welcome all the distinguished guests, experts, and partners present here today. Esteemed guests, your presence reflects a shared vision and a belief that what we eat today shapes the health, habits, and values of tomorrow's society. I have the honor of welcoming Padma Shri Professor C.S. Pandey, the Iodine Man of India. Children, he is the Iodine Man of India, the trustee Food for Future Foundation. Then Megha Johnson, again a trustee Food Future. And then we have Dr. Aman Bashir and Garima, the co-founder, NatFace First Truth in App. Then Aklanta, Kalita, and Vipul Sharma from Edelman. Alok Kumar Dubey from GIZ, and Priyambuda from Kofti. Of course, we also have the founder of 1.5 Degree, that's a plant-based dairy, the vegan ice cream, Amar Goyal and Vidansh Goyal. And if I'm missing out on any name, please pardon me for that. Some children got the opportunity to read the label at the back of the packing through Truth in App. So the founders and co-founders of Truth in App are here, and I'm sure you'll be interacting with them much more. As a head of Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram, and a representative of all schools, I cannot emphasize enough how important food literacy is in today's times. The food landscape around us is changing, and markets are rapidly getting flooded with packaged, processed, and highly marketed products. This makes it even more critical for each one of us to learn how to think about food and not just eat what is available blindly. How many of you are ordering food on Swiggies and whatever the other apps are? Not good. I always advocate food cooked by your mommies is the best. Okay? Food habits are formed at an early life, and when they are formed at an early life, they last a lifetime. The Eat Well, Live Well book, which will be launched today. Sorry, can I have some water? Actually, I have a bad throat. This book will help empowering our children to make informed choices, promoting good, healthy habits and a sustainable future. As we partnered with the Food Future Foundation, I believe It can really shape a generation that is food literate, health conscious, and environmentally responsible. Sorry for this. The 21 Habit book is a practical guide that would empower young children because it is based on scientifically designed healthy habits. Schools must understand that it's a cultural shift. We have worked hard to build in that healthy eating culture in the school, and school procured the Eat Right certificate embodying healthy habits. This certificate is only achieved once when the school adopts healthy eating habits. Schools are now ideally setting forward to this transformation where children are learning academic skills and life values. I would take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to Aditi Mehrotra, the co-founder of Arne's Fit Kit program, and is our official dietitian. And children, you all know, you have participated in the Fit Kit program, which Aditi ma'am takes in the school. And it has done wonders for our kids, Pavanji, I must tell you. Aditi, you're an absolute rock star for championing this initiative and making healthy habits a priority for our students. Your dedication to partnering with Food Future Foundation and Arne's Kit Fit is truly inspiring. And that's how we at Lotus Valley are also associated with the same. Today, as we gather under the banner of Arogyata, I'm confident that our combined efforts will create a healthier, more aware, and a very responsible generation. Together with leaders like Revant, Himmat Singha, and Pavanji, we can inspire change that reaches far beyond school walls, into homes, to community, their neighborhood, and the nation at large. Let us all embark on a journey together, cultivating a brighter future, a healthier future, one healthy habit, and one inspired child at a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for setting the tone for today's program. Now let us hear from the man who turned this idea into reality. Mr. Agarwal will take us behind the vision of Eat Well, Live Well, offering insights into why these 21 habits matter and how they can transform young lives. Let us invite Sir on stage with a resounding applause.
A small show reel.
Your path to a healthier, happier life through 21 simple habits. Start with a healthy routine. Add 7 habits that bring order to your daily life. These habits form the base of a healthy lifestyle. They include keeping regular meal times, drinking enough water, getting good sleep, staying active, taking breaks from screens, practicing personal hygiene, and caring for your mind. Together, these habits create a strong foundation for good health, learning, and well-being. These habits are when and how you live, not just what you eat. They help you set a balanced, healthy routine. Next, choose foods that keep you healthy and strong. These habits help you make smart food choices. They include choosing the right carbohydrates, getting enough protein, limiting unhealthy fats, using healthy fats, eating gut-friendly foods, and having foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and immunity-boosting nutrients. They also remind you to cut down on sugar and reduce salt. These habits are about what you eat and why it matters. Mindful eating helps you pay attention to how you eat. These habits include listening to your body, eating slowly and chewing well, sharing meals with others, showing gratitude for food, avoiding food and plastic waste, reading food labels, following safe food practices, choosing a variety of foods, keeping meals balanced, and practicing moderation and portion control. These habits are about how we relate to food and our values. Each habit is important on its own, but together they form a strong foundation for a healthy lifestyle. Spin the wheel of habits. 21 small daily choices for a healthier and happier future.
A very good morning, friends. First, let me begin by wishing you a very happy Independence Day. This Independence Day is special. It is special for me. It is special for the school. And I think, in some sense, it can become very special for the nation. 8 years ago, on 17th of July, when I was CEO of FSSAI, we began our journey on Eat Right India campaign. Today, Eat Right India, I moved from FSSAI 4 years ago, and today Eat Right India is considered as one of the main government initiative to combat obesity, particularly childhood obesity. I'm actually standing before you all, having goosebumps, reminded of that occasion 8 years ago when we started the Eat Right India campaign. That was not built on a day. In fact, when we launched it, we did not have that much of preparation as we have for the Eat Well, Live Well campaign. But over a period of time, it organically built and became a mass movement of sorts. And I must place on record my deep appreciation for everyone who contributed in shaping it up over the years and continue to shape it up to make the Eat Right initiative in India as one of the unique initiatives helping to change the way India eats. On this occasion, we are moving a step further. It's not merely about eating the right food. I think lifestyle is very important. Routine is very important. There are many things, they are far more important or they are equally important as eating right. And these are the way we live. Therefore, the name of the campaign is Eat Well, Live Well. In some sense, a continuation of Eat Right India initiative, but adds on to it the lifestyle, the sustainability dimension. We not only have to take care of our own health, but I'm sure in the wake of, and these children, you have seen how beautifully you basically simplify very complex concepts like the climate change or biodiversity loss that is happening across the world, and how beautifully and simply you inculcate those habits around these. the Eat Well, Live Well campaign or initiative that we started, and we are very fortunate to have done it at your school. In many ways, this is something the school has been doing for a long, in partnership with Arne's Fit Kids. And because of the visionary leadership that the school has. But what we have simply done is put it all together. And putting it all together is very important. When you're expecting to do many things together, you have to have a right frame, a very simple frame. When I'm saying frame, I'm sure that as we move forward, the spin of the wheel will start moving fast, and you will create so many interesting ways of reaching out these simple messages that are part of this entire campaign in most beautiful manner to not only the children here, the parents here, the families who are connected with the school directly, but much beyond that, and have an impact that will be national and a global impact. I think, therefore, I'm getting these goosebumps. Here we are talking about habits. Next slide. So I think this concept of habits is nothing new. Sister Shivani, many of you follow, your parents may be following her. You know, she is, I think, my personal favorite, you know, when we have, in beautiful, simple manner, how she makes all these tips around living well, eating well, narrates them so beautifully. And I think she says that everything starts with a thought. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. I think this is, in some sense, an inspiration. It's not Sister Shivani. Some 2,500 years ago, Aristotle said the same thing. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, it becomes a habit. I think we sometimes tend to forget small things, and that is where Amy comes in. I think some of you personified Amy, the character in this campaign, beautifully in the classroom. Do you relate to some of these things? Skipping breakfast, loving chips and cold drinks, sleeping late, always using screens, feeling tired and can't focus in class, no energy. Be truthful to yourself. Raise your hands. How many of you relate to? I think many of you. I can see almost all the hands are raised. All the hands are raised. I think this is, yeah. I think let's move on. So these are things that we often do and do not even reflect whether we are doing the right things. What is the most important thing that we should care about? Anyone? What is it? Simple. Our body and our mind. Is that not pretty simple? जब आप एयर ट्रैवल कर रहे हो ना, तो पहले बोलते हैं ना, अपने बच्चे का सीट बेल्ट बाद में बांधना, अपना सीट बेल्ट पहले बांधिए. मतलब you have to take care of your own self before you help others, including your children. I think today we forget to take care of our body and our mind. And Raven puts it beautifully when he talks about nutrition education in schools. We learn all the subjects and everything. Many of the stuff we don't even ultimately tend to use. We leave this very important aspect of learning about how to take care of our body and mind. And most of us figure it out in course of their lives. I'm still figuring it out in some sense. Many of us in old days also continue to keep on figuring out what works for them, how to take care of their body and mind. what if we integrate it in our school routines? If we integrate it as a fun subject, as a fun intervention in our schools. Eat Well, Live Well campaign is, or this initiative is around that. How do we integrate simple habits of taking care of your body and your mind? By doing very, very simple things. And those actually are very simple. There are no rules. In fact, in many cases, you have to figure out your own ways of doing it. There are no checklists. There are small little things that are part of this entire initiative. And those small things, if you do consistently, then they add up to something very big. I'm sure you have heard of the concept of power of compounding. Can you guess something that you do every day for 1 year and you do maybe 1% better than yesterday? In 1 full year, what will it become? It will become 37 times. You do that mathematics, you'll say that even 1%, a small improvement every day makes this 37 times over 1 full year, over 1 year. And if you continue to do it over your lifetime, you are significantly so much better. That is the whole concept that Aristotle 2,500 years ago said, that do the right things repeatedly and then you become an excellent person. So do we all want to become excellent human beings, taking care of our body and mind? Raise your hands. Everyone wants. Yeah. So this is the entire program all about. Okay, so you moved on. Next. Yeah, where are we? Just stop. You know. So I think these habits, 3 into 7 habits, 21 habits for navigating the 21st century, they also in some sense align to a very famous book, and many of you must have seen on the shelves of your parents, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. So these, a set of 3 sets of 7 habits, they basically build on themselves over a period of time and make you a better human being, taking care of your body and mind, and then taking care of the society and the world and the rest of it. I think this is the power of this initiative that is getting germinated in this particular school. Next, please. You've seen this wheel, and a very small wheel is here. I believe this wheel will also get, a life in course of the program today. So we put it together in the form of a habit wheel to gamify it. We have more games as we move forward. Next, please. Next. So, how do we actually take it forward, And here I'm basically addressing the school management, the leadership of the school, because a school like yours, I think most of the building blocks for a healthy life are already in some sense in place. A little bit of fine-tuning here and there is required, and I'm sure that they will do it in an exemplary manner, setting standards, gold standards for implementation of this initiative, which will be replicated across the country. But how do we, my own vision and vision of the foundation, and I think in some sense, the leadership of the school shares this vision, that how can we make it happen across the country, in all schools in the country. Obviously, that will require lots of things to be done together, and some of those 7 things that are there required to be done together are here. Next, please. And there are more games beyond the wheel. We have the card game, the unique card game that we have devised, and you will not find any such card game. I'm sure many of you play the card games for fun, and many of your parents may be playing card games. So when these are available, you will have a lot of fun in playing those games and also learning in the process. Next, please. We have the usual, slopes and ladder. We are calling it slopes and ladder. We don't want you to scare by using the word snakes. Is it okay? Yeah, we are using this slopes and ladder. We have a personal habit tree. It has 63 leaves. Each habit has 3 small practices that we expect the children to do. I'm sure many of them you have mastered already. So whichever you have mastered, you can color it, and there is a color assigned to each of those leaves. So I'm sure over a period of time, it will become such a colorful tree. Currently it is dull, it is black and white. Eventually it will become such a colorful game, a colorful tree, your habit tree. It will start blossoming. Next, please. In addition to that, we kept in mind the digital generation. We have integration with the Truth in app, the premier app that helps you to find out what is in food, what is in your food, just by scanning the barcode. In the classroom, our colleagues from NetFirst, they showed how you can very easily scan the barcode and figure out. And when, Aman was doing that, I was wondering that this set of kids is so smart. They don't even need a digital barcode. They can read the label and figure out what is there. But I'm sure it will still be useful, because they do not only tell you what is in the food, they also help you to compare it with other food in that category. So we are very fortunate to have a partnership with NetFirst on Truth in app, and they are integrating it as we move forward. I think let's give a big round of applause to. They are already 1 million downloads. They're already pretty much, while we are in some sense born today, this Eat Well, Live Well initiative is born today. They're already there for many, many months, and they have made significant progress. Next, please. Yeah, and this is how, we will get a snapshot of the whole 21 habits through the app, and some games and interactive aspects. That is what we are beginning with. Over a period of time, I'm sure we can have more digital interface for the Eat Well, Live Well initiative. But we have to be careful. One of the habits is unplug, reduce your screen time. So we have to be mindful of how do we balance this. And this balancing thing, as we move forward, is going to be very, very important for all of us. Balancing office with work, or office with home, balancing your play time with study time, and then balancing your screen time with activities outside. So all this is going to be a huge challenge for all of us, for who are growing up today. These are the kind of challenges you are going to face, and this Eat Well, Live Well equips you to face those challenges, and therefore we are calling it as 21 habits to navigate the 21st century. Next, please. This is incidentally aligned with everything that is going on. The national education policy, it talks about many of these things that we are referring to here. It talks about, we have also heavily based our content on the dietary guidelines for Indians, which becomes in some sense the most authoritative source on what Indians should be eating. and that is what it is based on. It is also based on Japan's experience of food and nutrition education. This is the Shokugyu. And in 2005, Japan, when they were planning for their health policy, and they realized that the Japanese society is aging, they decided to take one action, and that one action was introduce food and nutrition education in schools, because foundations for healthy aging begins in school. And that is the far-sightedness with which the Japanese society had moved. And today, 20 years after the Shokugyu was launched in 2005, you can see that Japan has become the role model for the rest of the world on healthy aging. They have the highest lifespan, and I'm sure many of you have heard of the concepts of blue zones, etc., etc. So it is also, there is another branch of medicine which is coming in, which is lifestyle medicine, which basically says that most of the diseases that we come across, they are all modifiable, and you modify them by making lifestyle changes. So this is a completely new branch of medicine that has come up. Indian Institute of Science has established a center for longevity in which they are basically focusing on lifestyle science. Christian Medical College has a department on lifestyle science. I'm sure as young people, when you grow up, you'll also be dealing with these issues, and you'll be pioneering the concept of lifestyle medicine. And then remind yourself that this all begin here today in your school, because this is where the society is moving. So we in many ways are very contemporary in the content and our thought processes. Next, please. Before I come to a personal note, I think while giving gyan is easy, but actually practicing even these small little habits is hard. It is difficult. As you embark on this journey, you will face those struggles on everyday basis. You will keep telling yourself कि ये तो करना है, लेकिन फिर दिमाग बोलेगा करना है, but heart बोलेगा नहीं आज रहने दो यार, कल से कर लेंगे. तो ये जो है struggle आपका चलता रहेगा. But I think this will all depend on how you succeed in your determination to change, whether you can make anything out of it. So when I begin this work, and I thought to myself that, all right, I have had a great career of 36 years in the government, initiated many government programs, initiatives. What next? And then through the Food Future Foundation and through colleagues in the foundation like Dr. Pandav, Megha Johnson, Aditi, and many others, he said that let's figure out what we can do. Over the last 3-4 years, we have worked relentlessly. Sometimes taking many steps forward and then going back again and figuring out it doesn't work on the ground. And this journey of last 3-4 years, Lotus Valley International School, Madam Anita Malhotra was our constant companion. Thank you for your patience, ma'am. I know that we went several steps ahead and then came back and then no, ye nahi, aise karenge isko. So I think this is what we have brought before you. This is a program that we are launching today. And this reminds me for Mahatma, what Mahatma Gandhi said, you may never know what results come out of your actions, but if you do nothing, there'll be no result. Do you agree to this or not? So we have taken some action. We have ambition to change the way, everyone associated with Lotus Valley International School eats and lives. We also have an ambition that through this initiative, we'll change the way the entire country, all our citizens, eat and live. But we have made a good beginning. And we have, some outstanding partnerships. Revant, we are so happy that this is something I have been following you, and I keep telling Revant that on the issue of Label Padhega India, reading food labels, Revant single-handedly has done so much more work than what entire government or FSSAI could do. Particularly, I can talk about the 4 years I was as CEO of FSSAI. So we are very happy, Revant, that you are partnering with us on this initiative, which we can loosely call as food, nutrition, education, whatever. But I think, we are going a little beyond nutrition to look at lifestyle. And you also started talking in your videos around lifestyle issues. So they are all interconnected. And the challenge in looking at many of these things are that you do one thing and ignore another, you may not get enough results. So it is all interconnected and a holistic approach is needed. So what we have here before all of us is an integrated, holistic approach to eat well and live well. With these words, I would like to thank all of you, our partners, the school in particular, who allowed us to experiment over the last 3 years. Hopefully, we will not be experimenting as much as we were doing in the past now, and we will see more action on the ground within the school and moving beyond the school to the larger ecosystem in the country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words. I can't help but agree that in order to help the world around us, we should first look after ourselves. And these 21 habits of the 21st century will help us walk through life with fitness and fortitude.
And now, dear friends, let us sprinkle a little stardust on stage and turn it into a living canvas, where every step paints a story, every twirl whispers a secret, and every leap breaks free from the chains of the ordinary. Get ready to be swept into a world of rhythm and radiance. Please join me in showering our dazzling performers, the true alchemists of grace, with applause so loud it dances in the air.
Mrityu
artists, you truly swept us off our feet with the grit in your steps and the grace in your poise. Let us lift the roof with an applause worthy of their artistry.
And just as dance is shaped by discipline and passion, so too are our everyday habits shaped in classrooms, where curiosity meets guidance. It is in these nurturing spaces that transformation begins. Today, we turn the pages of a story written in laughter, wonder, and aha moments. A tale of quirky challenges, bright sparks of creativity, and little victories that grew into big changes. From classrooms buzzing with ideas to corridors echoing with joyful discoveries, this journey has been nothing short of magical. Our respected Vice Principal, Ruchi Joshi ma'am, will now share heartening experiences from the pilot program, unique activities that made learning a celebration, and the inspiring transformations we have witnessed in our learners. Let's welcome ma'am on stage with an enthusiastic round of applause.
Namaskar. Good morning, distinguished guests, dear students and members of the audience. I must say it is very inspiring and motivating to be in the midst of such champions and visionaries. Isn't it, children? Isn't it? It truly is. Today, as we delve deep into healthy eating, I cannot but reflect on the importance assigned to right nutrition in our ancient texts. Healthy nutrition has been extolled in mythology as not mere sustenance, but a powerful representation of the creative and even the divine. Even in Ayurveda, food has been described as Mahabheshajam, or the great medicine. At Lotus Valley, we are deeply conscious of the profound connection between healthy eating and the human experiences at the physical, mental, as well as the spiritual levels. Because it's in classrooms, playgrounds, that lifelong habits are formed, and this is something we have been observing very, very closely. We realized that it was extremely important for all of us, children, adults, everyone, to nurture smart food choices. And the best way to do it is to catch them young. And that is why we decided to do this with the primary and the middle school. No wonder, all advertisements are targeted at the young because they're the ones who push the adults. We realized that while during growing up years or otherwise also on TV, on social media, there's a constant bombardment of packaged and processed foods. Colorful wrappers, catchy jingles, promise of taste, and all masked. What goes masked is the salt, the sugar. And without the right knowledge, even the most well-meaning, the most well-intentioned can be misled. Recognizing this, we established a school review committee under the guidance of the most agile and lively member of our school, and that's our dear Anita ma'am. There's never a dull day at Lotus Valley when ma'am is around. And I must say that humor is also a great medicine. And so too is laughter. Our mission was amply clear: to make nutrition a core skill for our students. We partnered with Food Future Committee Foundation, held by Sri Pavan Agarwal as partners. So it was really very insightful to hear your presentation and very inspiring to learn about your commitment to create a healthy India. So we looked at the Habits book that was pioneered by them, a framework that was aimed at building healthy habits in children by identifying gaps in the existing school curriculum. Under the traditional curriculum, science, especially food and nutrition, is something which is very fleeting. But the Habits book made nutrition a central, continuous subject with colorful characters, interesting activities. You must have seen some of them here woven into it. Now, these were things that students could relate with, they could identify with, and that is why it fostered more acceptance amongst the children. We also had a very strong feedback channel with our students, teachers, and parents, helping us provide concrete feedback to the Food Futures Foundation. The book was refined further and we piloted the updated version, expanding it to more classes. And by the end of this, we had a curriculum that was evidence-based, culturally relevant, and highly practical for our students. The changes that we saw in our children were very, very conspicuous. When you have children talking about it, this is not the teachers saying, this is also the parents saying. When children start talking about the oil in their food, the salt in their food, the sugar in their food, you know that the job's been started, initiated, and it's progressing in the right direction. So we could see children bringing fresh food, reading labels before buying anything, water bottles on their desks, children becoming more active. The greatest impact has been to engender awareness. Children asking questions, challenging advertisement, and in the process, we're building a food literature society with very informed consumers who will challenge what the industries have to offer to us. The Habits book is not just a teaching resource, it's a life curriculum as it empowers children to navigate the modern food landscape with knowledge and confidence. At Lotus Valley School for Life, we are proud to guide students not just for grades, but for life. And in the true spirit of our motto, whether it is any goal, we arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Namaskar and thank you very much.
We extend our sincere thanks to you, ma'am, for your meaningful and inspiring reflections. Up next, we invite you to lean in, listen closely, and perhaps even let go of long-held notions. This is not just another talk. It is a thought-stirring exchange, a meeting of minds that dares to ask the questions we often overlook. Welcome to Rethink, Reform, Reclaim Your Plate, a conversation that is designed to make us pause before our next bite, reconsider what truly nourishes us, and reimagine the relationship between our choices, our health, and our planet. So prepare to have your assumptions challenged, your curiosity sparked, and your appetite, not just for food, but for change, truly awakened.
This session will be moderated by our Student Council's President and Vice President, Vivan Banerjee and Agastya Trikha, joined by our spirited young panelists, Anya Vora and Sanvi Kukreja. Together, they lead us into the cozy glow of a fireside chat, the kind that warms both the mind and the heart. A conversation with Mr. Revanth Himatsinka will journey from unmasking so-called healthy foods to reimagining the way our school canteens serve up goodness. Let's give them a thundering round of applause as they take the stage.
Good morning, sir. My name's Vivan, and it's such an honor for me to welcome you to the Lotus Valley family. But before anything, I think the entire auditorium would love to hear from you. How are you doing? How's your day been? And how do you feel about being at this amazing event today?
The event and the school is just fascinating. It's unbelievable, the kind of awareness you all are raising right from the first classroom I went to, where you all were teaching about protein, to the next classroom, sugar board, oil board, everything you all have been doing is just, I think it's the best event essentially at a school I've ever attended. Everyone who's helped organize it, truly you all are doing something special. And if you all remember even one thing from today, 5 years later, any one thing, I think this event is successful. So that's the main point. And one more thing I want to add. When we think of the word healthcare, I want to ask everyone as well, what's the first thing that comes to our minds? When we often use the word healthcare, in the government, when we are doing a budget, healthcare budget, we usually think of doctors, hospitals, medicines, pharmacy, but that is not healthcare. That is sick care, caring for someone who is sick. Healthcare is caring about your health before you fall sick. And I think what Pavan sir today has done with the Eat Well, Live Well campaign, that is truly healthcare. The 21 habits that we discussed earlier and we're going to discuss now as well, that is truly healthcare, caring about your health before you fall sick. And I always say this in my videos as well, that in our schools, we learn history, geography, integration, differentiation, English literature. Why don't we learn health and nutrition? And now that we are going to learn these 21 habits and essentially going to learn health and nutrition, I think it's going to go a very long way. And the goal is not just that every Indian should be educated. The goal is that every Indian should be health literate. So, thank you again for everyone who's got me here. And congratulations, Pavan sir, for this launch. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, sir. I think before we jump into the 21 habits, the auditorium would love to get to know you a bit more. So when you look back, what do you think was a precise click of sorts which turned you from your job on the Wall Street to taking to advocacy on the internet, and which has now become such an amazing platform where you've helped educate millions about the food we eat? And were there any invisible fears that were stopping you, sort of?
Yeah, so there were a few incidents which happened. I was in the US, and in the US, people have even more packaged food than India. And I lived there for 13 years, and I used to get quite frustrated and angry every time I'm stepping into the grocery store. I'm trying to eat healthy, but there are brands saying high protein, and you turn around the label, it will be only 2 grams of protein. Brands saying no sugar, but they have something else added instead. So it was getting very irritating. I'm trying to do something good for my body, but it's very difficult to buy it. So I thought I want to raise awareness around this misleading advertisement. But then I thought to myself, instead of doing it in the US, why don't I do it in India, where the lack of information is even more, people are even lesser informed. So that's what led me to leave the US, come back to India and start fighting against misleading labeling. That's how it started. Also, I noticed a lot of very well-meaning people who are going into the gym, health-conscious people. Even they, after their gym session, they are guzzling down a so-called sports drink filled with sugar, thinking it's healthy. And these are the probably top 4-5% of India in terms of health consciousness. Like the remaining 95% I have no idea, but the top 4-5% also have very less idea. So that's why I decided I need to do something about it. That's how it started.
That's absolutely brilliant. And I think all of us are so grateful that, the switch flipped somewhere and we've been able to learn so much from you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So you want health to become a school essential, which will be one of the greatest contributing factors in being able to achieve 100% health literacy in India. So if you were to write a health literacy textbook for the Indian youth, what would be that one opening anecdote or statistic that might grab us by the collar?
Okay, it's an interesting question. I think one statistic which I think would make everyone take it seriously is that India is the diabetes capital of the world. And it's not just people in their 50s and 60s and 70s, even children having diabetes. And in terms of statistics, it's around 100 million people approximately have diabetes in India, and 100 million people also have pre-diabetes. And these are the people who got it tested. So 200 million people, which is 20 crore out of 140 crore, essentially have diabetes or pre-diabetes, and these are the people who got tested. Now imagine if you do it for people who've not got themselves tested. How it's like essentially the half of the country essentially is suffering from this. So I think I would start here, and then hopefully we would go on to the 21 habits and teach people and try to get them to become healthier.
Most definitely, yes. I mean, students would be hooked by that, really.
All right, sir. Adding to what Vivek already said, on a similar note, what has been the journey of Label Padega India? How did it begin, and how has it been developing?
Okay, good question. You all are pretty young, but who here remembers Ice Bucket Challenge? Oh wow, almost everyone remembers that. That happened back in 2014 or 2015, like 10, 11 years ago, but it's still relevant. So, 1 month after I became food farmer, I googled and I was trying to think what is the biggest social media campaign around a social issue. And the Ice Bucket Challenge came up. That was the most successful viral campaign that ever existed. And that happened 10 years ago. It sounds recent, but it's not recent. It's 10 years ago. But people still remember. So that campaign raised a lot of awareness. And if you remember that campaign, people were doing a challenge and they were tagging 3 more people, nominating 3 people, and those 3 people were nominating 3 more people, and like that the chain was getting formed. So that's what inspired me, and I thought, can I create something for labels, which is also similar, that you take a photo with a label, and then you challenge 3 more people to read a label, and those 3 people will challenge 3 more people, and like that, the idea of some viral movement around labels came in, and I wanted it to be not a local campaign, even though at that time, it was 1 month into food farmer. So now people think, oh, you have such a big reach, 5 million people, but that time I did not have that much of a reach. But I still wanted to create something national or like something big. That's why we thought of the name Label Padega India, not just Label Padega. We're trying to think something big. And that's how we created it. We had a song, and then I wanted many more people to be a part of the song. So I sent hundreds of influencers, celebrities, sports people emails that I love your work, can you please be a part of the Label Padega India campaign. Most people did not respond to me because they were scared that they all do advertisements. And if they be part of Label Padega India, then they won't get any more advertisements by the food companies. One particular lady, I'm sure most of you all must be knowing her name, Archana Puran Singh. She responded to my Insta message saying that yes, I love your videos, I will send you a video of mine, and she sent me a small 15-second clip of her saying Label Padega India, and then I included that clip in the song. And then I used her name to reach out to the remaining people that Archana Puran Singh is also part of this campaign, and do you want to be a part of the campaign? Then many more people started saying yes. And like that, we got like 30 to 40 people in our song Label Padega India. We released the song went viral. We had Olympic medalists in the song, we had cricketers, influencers. Song went viral, and now it has become India's largest consumer awareness campaign in India's history after Jago Grahak Jago. And it's pretty fascinating because Jago Grahak Jago, of course, a government initiative with a lot of advertisement spend, and this is just a one-off video we created on social media, so it's just unbelievable at what's happened. And the amazing part is a lot of small companies have benefited. Like, earlier they used to struggle, small companies, that big companies can hire Bollywood celebrities. What do small companies which are actually giving clean food, what do they do? But because of campaigns like Label Padega India, people are reading the label, and as a result, they are sometimes choosing to buy food from a small which is doing good work rather than a big company which is hiring a Bollywood celebrity. So a small company, the benefit is quite good.
Sir, at the end of the day, it is your mission, your vision, and your voice that many Indians now believe, यदि label नहीं पढ़ोगे, तो healthy कैसे बनोगे? So,
most certainly, sir, and I think that's a beautiful way to spark a national level movement. Seeing as our audience consists almost entirely of the youth of India, if you had to distill healthy living for a 12-year-old, let's say, into 3 label reading rules that they'd actually remember in a supermarket aisle, what would they be, sir?
Okay, so you're making label padega India to label Sikhega India. Okay, so 3 rules. First is always remember that the ingredients are in descending order of weight. So the first ingredient is the one which is the most, then the second ingredient, then the third, then the fourth. So if you have sugar or maida in the first 3 ingredients, the particular product probably has a lot of sugar and maida. To try to avoid it. A very simple rule, ingredients are not listed in any random order. They are listed in descending order of weight. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is always look at the added sugar, and added sugar, look at the number of grams of added sugar, and 1 teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams. So if there is 32 grams written out there, you can divide it by 4, that means 8 teaspoons of sugar in that particular bottle or jar or whatever. So just divide the added sugar by 4, so you will find out how much sugar there is in that particular food. So that's the second rule. Third is a very simple rule, avoid products which have ingredients which you cannot even pronounce or you don't even know the meaning of. Most products have ingredients which are good for you. You already know what it is, like oats or dates or things which you use in your kitchen. If you don't know the meaning, most likely, sometimes it's fine for you, but most likely it's not good for you. One last thing, 2 last things. Longer the ingredient list, longer the medication list. So often products that are good for you have a very short ingredient list. The best peanut butters, they have only 1 ingredient, peanuts. The best oat products have only 1 ingredient, oats. But if there is some other peanut butter company which has 12 ingredients in their peanut butter, it's most likely not good for you. So longer the ingredient list, longer the medication list. But the simplest solution is, you don't even need to read the ingredients, nothing. You can download the Truthin app, pick up any food product and scan the barcode. And if you just scan the barcode, you will get a health rating. A, B, C, D or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 4.1, 2.1. So if it is highly rated, if it's above 3.5, you can buy that product, it's pretty good. But if it's like 2 or 1, you can avoid that product. So all you do is download the Truthin app, scan the label, scan the barcode and you'll get a health rating.
Definitely, sir. I think those are 5 simple and efficient rules we can all imbibe when we're in the supermarket aisles.
Most definitely. And I want to talk a bit more about your work, sir. I think your work is incredibly, influential and infamous, but just as influential and infamous as your work is the consequences you've had to, face for it, both pushback and overwhelming amounts of support. How do you sort of deal with situations like that? And when do you decide to give into the pushback? And when do you decide that, you need to post anyway?
No, you are right. It's been quite challenging. So far I've received 8 legal notices, 2 crore rupee defamation suits, and even 1 6-month imprisonment charge from a company. So it's not as easy as it sounds, and these are just the official things. Unofficially, people, CEOs of various companies will keep calling you and remove your video. There are many more things that happen behind the legal stuff. So it's not easy at all. But if you've seen my videos, lawyers keep telling me blur logos. don't use the name of the company, use a rhyming word. But if you've seen my videos, I never blur logos. I always take the names of companies openly. I don't use any rhyming words. Because I believe in freedom of speech. I believe that if only if we take the names openly, will the awareness truly happen. And I have one line for every brand, which is, if you send me a legal notice, I will get you publicly noticed. You don't create a health revolution without making a few enemies. It is natural, it's fine. I understand you can send me a legal notice, but I'm not going to stop.
That's absolutely brilliant, sir. I think that's the sort of integrity that sets you apart and really has drawn so many people, especially the youth, to you. Like, so many of my friends and I myself have been following you for years.
Thank you.
So knowing is just one half of the game, but doing is the other, right? So I'm sure all of us would be delighted to see your words come alive in practice. So I have a little something which I had eaten yesterday.
Wow.
Now, please, can you help me read this label and share the insights, whether it's actually so healthy as it claims on the front cover?
So, the first thing that we always do is we ignore this side. We don't care what is written here. So out here, it's written no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, no preservatives, rock salt, zero trans fat, zero cholesterol. Now, so basically they've made 6 to 7 health claims in the one small front pack. Now we'll read the label here. The label has 2 parts. One is this nutrition label, and second is the ingredient list. Both of these are quite important. And so the first thing when I read the nutrition label, I noticed that the calorie amount is quite high. So it's around 567 calories per 100 grams. So in a day we need around, adult needs around 2000 calories. So per 100 grams this is around 567, and I know that Lay's, because I've seen that product, even Lay's has around 550 calories. So this has even more calories than Lay's. Just, and many people will look at banana chips and they'll say, yes, banana chips is probably better than Lay's. But in terms of calories, and it's written extra thin. I don't know if y'all probably can't see extra thin. So people may think this is probably healthier in terms of calories and something like that. But it's more calories than even Lay's. The ingredient list relatively is cleaner, to be very honest. It just has banana, refined vegetable oil, salt, rock salt and turmeric, which is quite clean. So they are correct. They're not using flavors or colors or preservatives. That's true. We have to give credit. We cannot. Let me look at the salt. How much salt they have? Okay. Salt is 343 milligram per 100 gram, which is not too much. See, overall this product is quite decent. I'm not saying this is too bad. The only problem is it's a bit high in calorie. I'm assuming it's fried using a refined vegetable oil, so it's not the best product. But it is still significantly lesser in additives compared to Kurkure and Lay's and things like that. So I would probably, say, have it once in a while. Don't have it way too regularly. But it's not too bad, but not too great either.
Thank you, sir. That was really insightful.
A better alternative would probably be roasted chana or makhana or something along those lines compared to this.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Sir, being the food farmer, you have seen plenty of marketing tricks and gimmicks. What's the most unrealistic claim you've come across on a food label?
So, the most unrealistic claim, can I stand up once? So, the most unrealistic claim I have seen is stronger, taller, and sharper. But the word taller, every single malt-based drink claims to make you taller. And I have So any company, I'll just once say, they feed your insecurities. So whatever they say is based on what you are insecure about. So if people are insecure about their skin color, a company will say they'll make you fairer. Since a lot of kids who are 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 14 years old, they are often insecure about their height. That is why the companies which are making products catered to the 8 to 14-year-old age group, they always say they'll make you taller. Because you are insecure about that, it's the easiest way to market their product. So don't believe any company which says that it will make you taller. Height is mainly genetics. Of course, other things like protein and various other things also make a difference. But don't believe any company which says it will make you taller.
So I completely agree with that. Brands should sell their products and make it more reliable and authentic in terms of marketing, as consumers' faith lies in these claims.
So we discussed some aspects of your personal life, and I think it's important to understand the man behind the mission. You've admitted to working non-stop for well over a year until near burnout. On that note, what's one daily ritual or moment, even a guilty pleasure maybe, that's kept you sane when everything else was rather overwhelming?
Good question. Yes, it was pretty exhausting. I think I made a mistake of not hiring a team essentially, or not building a team. So I was still a few months ago almost working with only one more person, essentially, like 1 to 2 people, which is too less for whatever we're trying to do. In terms of what was the 1 or 2 things, I was back in the day ignoring my own health. I'm talking about health every single day. I'm like on a stage right now talking about health. But my own health, I was not working out. And I was like, everyone is constantly asking me, can you get on a phone call? Can you speak to this person? Can you do this event? Can you speak at this school? I was saying yes to everything. And as a result, I had no time to go to the gym, no time to eat healthy. I was sleeping for 5.5 hours. So I just in the last few months have been like, if I am talking about health, I need to also practice it myself. And I have to be a bit selfish also sometimes, that I have to say no to some events. I have to say no to some phone calls. So now I am becoming very thin that whatever happens, I will try to at least work out for half an hour. Not even 1 hour, but at least half an hour. So that is really helping me stay sane. And also I feel more confident that I'm not lying when I'm saying that I'm talking about health. I'm myself also trying to do it.
Certainly, so I think learning when to say yes and no is something we should all imbibe in our daily lives.
So, talking about the infamous food farmer approval, which, only a few items clearly get, as we just saw with our little exercise here, it's often been criticized and called unscientific and something that's done without lab testing. What do you say to critics who, initiate such an accusatory tirade against the process as a whole?
That's a very good question. So, you're right. Label Padega India is the first step. The second step is label Test Karega India. That is the ideal step, that every single thing, the food packet, should be tested. Now, as any consumer, I am trying to raise a consumer level campaign. Label Padega India is trying to get 140 crore Indians to start reading labels. Now, I cannot expect people to test products. 140 crore Indians to start sending everything to labs and to get it tested. Which is why we started a simple campaign labeled Padega India, and the goal was if 140 crore Indians are reading labels, companies will be forced to put better quality ingredients, companies will also be forced to stop false advertisements. That was the goal of Label Padega India. Now, what you are seeing that just reading labels is not enough. Sometimes companies are lying in their labels, which is true, but 70 to 80% of the problems can be solved if we just start not reading labels. Now, of course, there are some companies which are finding loopholes within the labels and they are over-claiming things. But we are trying to do that as well, but we can solve a decent amount just by reading. It is expensive to test every product as well. So it's unrealistic to test 1 lakh products, but we'll get there as well. Bit by bit.
And do you have any vision for how we could get there?
I think we can just map out the most common 1,000 products which Indians consume. I don't think we can test all 1 lakh, 2 lakh products that Indians eat, but we can map out the 1,000 most consumed products and raise a company like a public fund, like that people donate money to, and we can test it. The problem is, even when you test it, formulations change every 5 to 6 months. So I can test 1 batch, but what about the next batch? So it's not as easy as it sounds.
Thank you for tackling such a complex issue with us, sir.
Sir, if I may ask, in your kitchen right now, what are 3 imperfect items that we might catch you buying? And what is your honest, somewhat guilty justification?
So I have never claimed that I am perfect. People think because I talk against packaged food that I don't touch anything unhealthy. Just like everyone, I believe in eating healthy, but in moderation. That is the most important thing. Consume junk, but in moderation. So I also, in my kitchen, if you go to my fridge, you will sometimes find ice creams. But that does not mean that, like I myself also eat ice creams, but of course it's not that I eat it every day or anything like that. So it's fine to eat junk as long as it's in moderation. That is, I would say, the main junk that I sometimes indulge in.
All right, so yes, we all relate to that a lot.
Sir, with the growing population of health-conscious citizens and assuming that India truly becomes label literate in the next 5 years, what is the next big food and health blind spot you're worried about, and how can we as students help?
I think people are often following trends. So, like, if the trend is people think jaggery is good for you, then everyone starts using jaggery and saying no added sugar, even though jaggery and sugar are quite similar to each other in terms of the nutrients. So people are very trend driven. So that is the worry, that if there's a trend of no palm oil, and every company will write no palm oil, but what the other oil they'll be putting is almost the same as palm oil in terms of saturated fat. So I think we need to not follow trends. That is the one thing. I also think we're also running short of time, so I'll keep my answer short.
Most certainly, sir. I hope this session was as enlightening for everyone here as it was for us. Thank you so much for introducing us to the world of food literacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
What an engaging and eye-opening exchange. Let's give our brilliant student moderators, young panelists, and of course, the food farmer, Mr. Revan Himatsinka, another resounding round of applause for challenging our thinking and inspiring us to make wiser choices.
As the lights gently fade and the screen glows with a wall of habits, we unveil the very heartbeat of Eat Well, Live Well, the 21 habits that can shape a lifetime. In just a moment, all learners will step forward, each holding a placard, not just cardboard and colors, but a promise, a reminder, a spark of change. From respecting meal times and moving with purpose to cutting back on sugar and embracing variety. These are the golden threads weaving the fabric of a healthier tomorrow. So let your applause be as vibrant as their spirit as we welcome our young champions to the stage.
R for respect meal times. Timely meals, healthier deals. भोज तालिका के बनो कदरदान, बीमारियों से मिलेगा निदान. O
for often and enough water. Sip smart and stay sharp. आज से यह नियम अपनाना है, पर्याप्त मात्रा में पानी पीना और पिलाना है. Mom, the mic was. U for unplug and recharge. Log off to power up. डिजिटल दुनिया के चक्रव्यूह को तोड़ो, जीवन शैली बदलो, अपनों से नाता जोड़ो. T for time to move. Stay active, step, stretch and I for invest in good sleep. Sleep tight, rise bright. निद्रा के समय में निवेश मिले, निरोगता का कुमुद खिले. N for neat and clean always. Clean habits, clear health. हमेशा स्वच्छ और स्वस्थ रहे. जीवन काल की ढाल है ये, बीमारियों को दूर करे. E for equip your mind. Strong body, stronger mind. ज्ञान, कौशल और ध्यान से मस्तिष्क का कोश भरें. H for have the right carbs. Fuel right, feel right. कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स है ऊर्जा का कोश. हर पल बढ़ाइए जीवन में जोश. E for eat protein every day. Build strength bite by bite. भोजन में प्रोटीन अपनाएं, तन की वृद्धि और विकास बढ़ाएं.
A for avoid unhealthy fats. Skip the grease, boost your peace. बेअंत वसा जो जान खाते, रोगों को वो पास बुलाते.
L for look after your gut. Happy tummy, happy you. अपने पेट का ख्याल रखें और सोच समझकर व्यंजन चखें.
T for take food rich in vitamins and minerals. Vitamins for vision and minerals for mission. विटामिन और मिनरल्स युक्त भोजन से थाल सजाए और मुखमंडल की चमक बढ़ाएं.
H for hold back on sugar. Less sweet, more speed. चीनी का जो सेवन कम करे, रोग उसे रहे सदा परे.
Y for yes to less salt. Salt less, stress less. नमक का करो कम भोग, जीवन से है इसका योग.
times mindful. Chew slow, let wellness grow. बेहतर पाचन, स्वाद का आनंद, चबा चबा कर खाना है. अच्छी आदतों को अपनाकर जीवन स्वर्ग बनाना है.
I for include a variety on your plate. Colors on your plate, health feels great. अपनी थाली में फल मेवों की विविधता को अपनाएं. काजू बादाम अखरोट आदि से सुखमय जीवन की पींग बढ़ाए.
And for never waste food. Waste less, care more. इतना ही लो थाली में, व्यर्थ न जाए नाली में. D for decode food labels. Scan, spot and shop smart. खाद्य लेबल को डिकोड करें, स्वास्थ्य वर्धी विकल्प चुनें.
F for follow safe food practices. Cook it right, keep it tight. सुरक्षित और पोषित आहार स्वस्थ जीवन का आधार.
U for use local and seasonal food. Local and fresh is always the best. स्थानीय और मौसमी भोजन का भोग करें और सेहत का भंडार भरें.
L for learn to balance your plate. Balance is a secret ingredient. अपनी प्लेट को संतुलित करें. कब, क्या, कितना खाना है, इसका सदा ध्यान धरें.
Shaping not only who we are today, but who we have the potential to become.
And now, the moment we have been waiting for. We invite our guests, Mr. Revant Himatsinka, Mr. Pavan Agarwal, and our Director Principal, Anita Malhotra ma'am, to the stage for the official unveiling of the Eat Well, Live Well Habit Book. Gracious presence. As we conclude, let's remember, a habit is not built in a day, but it is built every day. And with each mindful choice, we are crafting the future we wish to live in.
We now invite
Namaskar. My humble request is please stand up and clap for 2 minutes. Please stand up. Okay, we'll think that 2 minutes are over. Revan, there is a scientific evidence that when you stand up and clap for 2 minutes, the energy levels in the whole rise. So I always start my programs with happy. Number one, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Lotus International School. He is very blessed to have you as the principal, madam. Clapping for madam. I come from Maharashtra, though I spent 54 years in Delhi, learning for life. Jivan, Shikshan, Mandir. I'm so well connected with you because of that statement. When you take a name, you are reminded of tornado and tsunami. And that's none else than Pavan Agarwal. 4 साल में आपने तो क्रांति बनाई, क्रांति कि देश में शांति हो जाए. Loud clap for Pavan Agarwal. Because of my working at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, I have seen a lot of civil servants, but never a servant like him. He is not civil servant, he is people servant, nutrition servant, health servant. और इस सब के पीछे मेघा छाए music, where medicine fails, music heals. I'm having Parkinsonism for the last 10 years. But when you play a music, I can dance. So we'll do that at the end. My message is very simple. Iodine Man of India, 45 years of continuous work. 45 years. Today, we are Vishwaguru. 93% of India's population is consuming iodine soap. Vishwaguru है इसमें. The next thing is, madam, I'm carrying a prescription pad of 3 medicines you should keep 24 hours with you. Pavan sir said about holistic health, non-communicable diseases, diabetes, hypertension. Today we are getting cases of 12-year-old child dying of heart attack. So madam, I was at sleep. 3 medicines you should keep with you all the time. Ecosporin, sorbitrate and statin. आपके अगले वीडियो में मैं बात करूँगा. I'm self-inviting myself. Very important. And finally, all those who want to dance with me, please play any song. Please play any song. जल्दी कर लीजिएगा, please.
Can we have some music for sir?
Any song.
Saurav sir, could we please have
And the
any
dancers who dance on the stage, please join me. Please play the song, don't delay.
Saurabh, you're requested to play any music that you have with you right now. Thank you.
Any song.
He's playing, sir. He's playing.
Eat well, to serve well. I went to a school in Pune.
Thank you, friends. Let's all move back to our seats.
And thank you, sir. This was just brilliant. We now invite Aditi Gurugram, co-founder of Arnie's Fit Kids, to share her words of gratitude. Her voice today will echo the appreciation we collectively feel for everyone who made this event such a resounding success. Please join us in welcoming ma'am on stage.
So I'm going to keep it very short because after such an energizing moment, I don't think you would want to listen to a very long speech. But what I want to share here with you is my morning. So my morning started with a lot of excitement because I had to escort Revant to the school, and it was also very embarrassing because of what happened. So while we were on our way here, so I was very excited, to see him off screen, larger than life, and I really didn't know that you are 6 feet 3 inches tall. The embarrassing part was that I just had a little sore throat. So promptly I took out strepsils, and before popping it in my mouth, I offered it to Revant. So I offered it like this, and he immediately flipped and started reading the label. And I was like very embarrassed. And I told myself that, oh, I am a dietitian. It's been 30 years. And here I had a label police sitting right next to me, And the look he gave, and in my mind I was saying, Revant, medicine hai, spare me. But, so I just quietly hid it. But nevertheless, and second thing I want to say is that I'm quite confused. Standing here, I don't know who am I thanking and on whose behalf am I thanking. So I belong to this, both the families, Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram, and Food Future Foundation, sir. And I will speak on behalf of both. I'm going to be thanking the true heartbeat of this initiative. The true heartbeat is not Revant, but you all, the students of Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram. So, biggest thanks to the audience as well as to the performers. Those who performed on stage, you did it in just, like this, in a jiffy, which is what is quite what we can see in Lotus Valley School, Gurugram. The performers, you added colors to the textbook, you gave soul to the concepts we teach, you turned ideas into something we could see, feel, celebrate together. So thank you so much for the 21 Habit March. Watching you showcase these values is, for all of us, the greatest reward of all. You are the reason we do what we do, and you are the true heartbeat, as I said. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for reminding us what positive change looks like when it's in your hands. It's in the hands, the hearts of the next generation, Gen Zs, right? This event would not have been possible. Oh, you're not, oh, sorry. You're alphas now. Yeah, okay, sorry. And thanks for correcting me. So this event would not have been possible without the support of so many people who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes. We did not give you enough time, but how beautifully you managed. So first and foremost, our heartfelt gratitude to Anita ma'am, your entire team, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to showcase talent, ideas, and the power of collaboration. Your trust in this initiative has given us a platform to bring food education to life. Our gratitude goes out to Revant, the food farmer, whose mission to reconnect people with real, wholesome food is both inspiring and urgent. Your advocacy for mindful eating is planting seeds of change in young minds across the country, and you've seen a sample here in this school. A very, very special thank you. Now this, sir, I speak on behalf of Lotus Valley School, to Pavan, sir, and their team, whose tireless work continues to shape the national discourse on healthy and sustainable food systems. Your vision and leadership remind us that what we eat today shapes the health, habits, and values of tomorrow's society. There have been times when we went back and forth with the updates, refining every detail, but through it all, you stood with a lot of patience, dedication, commitment, your constant support, adaptability, and willingness to go that extra mile, even changing the book cover on my insistence, has been the backbone of making this event, this launch, what it is today. Thank you, Dr. Pandav, sir, for gracing this occasion. I mean, we were just getting very quiet and dead, and suddenly you came up on stage, took over the mic, and you asked the music to be played, and you could see all the students. Everybody would have been up on the stage. Thank you for lending your wisdom to our collective journey. Your lifelong dedication to improving community health, your invaluable guidance to the cause of nutrition and well-being have touched countless lives. Megha, I include you also in my vote of thanks. Our association dates back to FSSI days, where we created Master and Miss Sehat, and you brought them to life. And I think you came here also with the entire team long back. So Master and Miss Sehat team had come who were the mascots of FSSAI. So they are still very memorable for young minds. Dr. Aman Bashir and your team for equipping our students with the Truth In app. There is already a lot of excitement in the classrooms. They want to see more. So these tools are going to be invaluable for making healthier, informed choices, even for a professional dietitian like me. Your expertise continues to elevate food literacy in our community. Priyamvada from Kofti, your dedication inspires us to keep innovating and educating in the space of conscious food consumption and wellness. Neha hasn't been, she couldn't make it from GIZ, but if she is watching us live, I want to thank her also and the entire team in GIZ. Nitin sir, we are yet to invite you here for your stories. His brand Kisan Se means directly from the farmers. His visionary leadership in bridging farmers and consumers is going to be truly transformative. His product range is lying, displayed for all of you to see what purity or what pure products look like. I would also like to thank all other distinguished guests, experts, Edelman team, partners present here today. Your presence is a reflection of our shared commitment to building a healthier and more aware generation. May the spirit of this day inspire us to keep working together towards building healthier habits, the 21 habits, stronger communities, and a brighter future. As I conclude, I want to leave you with a thought. A change doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in small, consistent steps. This is, I think, the Monday weekly Gyan. Whenever I go to Pawan sir's office, I get this Gyan. One leap doesn't, there's no one big leap, but small, consistent steps to building the habit. Every time a child chooses a fruit over a pack of chips, every time a family reads the label before buying, and every time a farmer is paid fairly for their produce, we move one step closer to healthier, happier tomorrow. So thank you once again for being part of this journey. Let us keep walking this path together. Arogyata ki or. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As we draw the curtains of this remarkable gathering, let us carry with us not just the memories of what we witnessed today, but the resolve to turn inspiration into action. We extend our gratitude to our Director Principal, Anita ma'am, for providing us with an opportunity to engage with such brilliant minds from diverse fields. On behalf of Lotus Valley International School, Gurugram, we thank Revant sir, Pavan Agarwal sir, Dr. Pandav sir, and all our distinguished guests, and each one of you for your time, your energy, and your open hearts. May the conversation sparked here ripple outward, shaping habits, influencing choices, and nourishing both body and spirit. पोषण बने जीवन का ज्ञान, हर दिन हो सेहत का प्रमाण. आज से हम सब मिलकर कहें, स्वस्थ रहे, सुख से जिए. Eat well and live well. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request everyone to please rise and join us in honoring our nation by standing for the national anthem.